So, you hear a lot about the AI revolution, right? But what if the real story isn't what AI can do, but what it actually costs? Analyst Mookie Tenenbaum has dug into the true price tag, and what he's found points to this massive shift in power happening just under the surface. We're about to follow his analysis all the way down the rabbit hole, starting with just a single command and ending in a whole new world order.
Okay, so here's how we're going to break this down. We're going to follow the chain reaction that Tenenbaum lays out. We'll start with the promise of these new AI agents, then trace the incredible cost explosion, pinpoint the critical hardware bottleneck, look at the huge bets these giant corporations are making, and finally, see how it all reshuffles the deck, creating a new geopolitical reality with clear winners and losers.
So let's kick things off with the one concept that's really driving this whole tectonic shift: the rise of what we call AI agents.
Now, what exactly is an AI agent? It's not just a chatbot that answers a question. No. Think of it like a personal assistant that actually takes action. As Tenenbaum explains it, instead of you going to a bunch of websites, searching for flights, comparing hotels, booking a car, you just give your agent one simple command: book me a trip to Paris. And it does all of that for you. Every single step. It sounds amazing, doesn't it? The ultimate convenience. But, and this is a huge but, this power comes with a hidden cost, one that is, frankly, staggering. And it completely changes the game for literally everyone involved.
And that convenience? That's what creates the first shockwave Tenenbaum identifies. A massive, and I mean massive, exponential explosion in the cost of computing and energy.
Okay, get this. According to Tenenbaum's analysis, just one of those agent tasks, like booking that trip, generates 15 to 20 times the computing traffic of a simple AI query we make today. Every little step the agent takes is another process running. We are not talking about a small jump here. This is a tidal wave of data. And this traffic spike is forcing this frantic scramble. The big tech companies are already bumping up against their data center limits. It's exactly why you're seeing Meta and Google suddenly announcing these insane investments, tens and tens of billions of dollars in new data centers. For them, this isn't a choice anymore. As Tenenbaum sees it, it's a matter of pure corporate survival.
And to really understand the real-world impact, you just have to look at the power grid. Tenenbaum projects that the energy needed for all this new AI infrastructure is going to be comparable to the entire energy consumption of a country like Greece. We are talking about nation-state levels of power demand. It's wild.
But you know, all that data, all that energy, it is completely useless without one thing: the physical hardware. And this leads us to what Tenenbaum says is the most critical bottleneck in this entire system.
As Tenenbaum sees it, the entire AI world depends on what he calls a hardware triopoly. It's actually a pretty simple three-step chain. First, a company called ARM designs the basic blueprint for the chip. Then, NVIDIA customizes that blueprint and turns it into a powerhouse AI chip. And finally, a single company, TSMC, using these totally unique machines from ASML, physically manufactures the thing. That's it.
And this brings us right to Tenenbaum's starkest point. He puts it pretty bluntly: without the hardware, you're not going anywhere. The point is simple, right? It doesn't matter how amazing your software is. If you can't get chips from this tiny, exclusive club, you're not even in the game.
This absolute dependency on hardware creates this incredibly high-stakes game of strategy, one where even the biggest tech companies on the planet can make some truly catastrophic, company-defining mistakes.
Take Amazon's recent decision to block outside AI agents from its servers, a move Tenenbaum calls totally crazy. Instead of an open model where any agent can drive sales on their platform, they're building this closed garden to try and force users onto their agent. It's a massive gamble that he thinks could end up cutting them off from the future of AI commerce entirely.
And here's another example of a huge bet. Tenenbaum points to chip designer ARM making what he calls a grave error. Right now, they own this highly profitable niche, just designing chip architecture. But now they want to compete directly with their biggest client, NVIDIA. The problem is, NVIDIA's real power isn't just its chips, it's the CUDA software that runs on them. And with 30 million programmers already building on that platform, Well, that's a software moat that Tenenbaum thinks ARM just can't cross.
So this super high-stakes environment leaves a giant like Apple, which is famously behind in the AI race, with what Tenenbaum sees as one final, almost desperate opportunity to stay relevant.
Tenenbaum's take is that their only real move is to stop trying to compete on AI software and just focus on their hardware advantage. By partnering with a leader like OpenAI, they could make the iPhone the essential terminal for the agent revolution. It might just be their last chance to get on board before the train leaves the station for good.
The fallout from all of these corporate bets and hardware realities, it all creates something much bigger. An entirely new geopolitical landscape, where a handful of corporations wield power that actually eclipses that of most nations.
Tenenbaum uses a single, powerful Spanish word to describe the lead these few companies have: inalcanzable. It means unreachable, unattainable. In his view, they are so far ahead in capital, in infrastructure, and in talent that no one else can possibly catch up.
This is exactly why Tenenbaum believes the whole idea of sovereign AI, a country building its own AI from scratch, is a fantasy. The cost and the need for access to that hardware triopoly are just too much. In this new race, a country like France and a province in Argentina are basically in the same boat. They simply can't compete.
And to put this power into perspective, just look at this. At the time of his analysis, NVIDIA's market value was around $4.5 trillion. That's more than 7 times the entire gross domestic product of a country like Argentina. One company's value just dwarfs the economic output of an entire nation.
So, if we follow this logic all the way to its conclusion, the new global hierarchy becomes brutally clear. Tenenbaum's analysis creates a very distinct list of winners and losers in this new era.
The winners are the ones who own the plumbing. They're the infrastructure kings. It's the hardware triopoly, NVIDIA, TSMC, ASML. It's the data center giants who can afford to build, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Oracle. And it's even the companies that physically build those data centers, like Supermicro and Dell.
And the losers, according to Tenenbaum, they are anyone whose entire business can be replaced by a single command to an AI agent. Think of all those single-purpose apps like Spotify, Salesforce, or Wix. Their core functions are at risk of becoming just features, made redundant by a more powerful, centralized system.
Ultimately, Tenenbaum's core message is this: forget the AI we know today. The agent revolution, that is the real revolution. Its arrival is inevitable, and the consolidation of power is already happening at a speed and scale we have never seen before. Which leaves us with a final crucial question to consider. In this new world, what is our place in it?